We're here to celebrate Tin House's 10th anniversary. We've got some wonderful folks coming out to entertain and edify, a highbrow cavalcade, wrapped inside a cornucopia, rolled in a corn tortilla with a spicy but not too spicy literary salsa.
My idea was to try to create a literary journal or magazine that would be more accessible to the public. Most literary journals can't afford to pay famous authors, so you don't recognize the names. There's no indication of what the stories are about. So we set out to create a magazine that people could get into more easily and that was more fun than the ones that I saw in the newsstands, or most of them.
Well, the attitude was that it used to be that literary magazines had an attitude that they were like castor oil. They were supposed to be good for you. You know, they were serious and bland, and no one picked them up because who wants castor oil?
When we came home from the movie that night, my sister went into the bathroom and then called out to our mother, asking if she'd bought another toothpaste as a hint. "I know I have major cavities," she said, "but do we really need two?"
I'm not dead, but I am standing very still in the backyard, staring up at the maple. 30 years ago, a tiny kid waiting on the ground, alone, in heaven, in the world, in white sneakers.
I like to store my haiku in my moleskin. It's very convenient. You're just walking around, you get an idea, you put it in a notebook, and it's right there, and you have easy access. It's a simple matter of practicality. Land of the Lost. Pursued by Sleestacks, befriending Will and Holly, my name is Chaka.
My name is Steve Almond, but I come to you on behalf of Toto. Duke Ellington once famously declared that there are only two kinds of music, good music and bad music, and by bad music I mean specifically the song I Bless the Rain Down in Africa by Toto. Ellington died 2 years before Toto formed as a band, which I think speaks to his prescience. What makes I Bless the Rain Down in Africa so bad? Mostly it's the lyrics, also the instrumentation, the vocals, and that virulent jazz-like melody, which, despite the manifest wretchedness of everything I've just mentioned, assures that you are still, as you sit there listening to me insult I Bless the Rain Down in Africa, sort of grooving to it.
Oscar Wilde has a great quote where he says, "I'm least myself when I use my own voice. Give a man a mask and he'll tell you the truth," essentially. And there's a way in which getting at the most difficult stuff, if I'm just putting a version of myself out there, is much scarier than if I'm putting something that seems like it's way different. So you're doing a lot of research, you're sort of emptying yourself into somebody else, but of course you're working your way back around to your own obsessions because your narcissism is overwhelming, especially if you're Ron. I mean, it's just... It's an astonishing thing. He can barely remember who we are.
Well, we got the big chairs for Ron, remember, because of the narcissism.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good-natured guy, but, you know.
We've chosen characters who are kind of extreme versions of ourselves, or what we're capable of.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, Jesse James.
So it's a way of testing your capabilities, your capacities for evil or for good, and of finding what's interior in you that's really important.
Coffee. The only precious thing I own, this little espresso cup. And in it, a dark roast all the way from Honduras, Guatemala, Ethiopia, where coffee was born in the 9th century, getting goat herders high.
The most famous woman I met, at least by 1983, I met when I walked in on her in the kitchen of the Center for Peace and Justice at 68th and 5th Avenue, and she looked up at me from where she was squatting over this cut glass bowl, and she smiled as easily as if she did not have her pants pulled off and lying beside her, as if her hands were not bracing her on the marble-slick floor. She was pissing into that bowl.
It takes a lot of dedication and perseverance to do something as crazy as this. And Win McCormack has unfailingly backed Tin House from the start, and he has been unwavering in his commitment to the magazine, the books, and the festival. And so as a small token of our appreciation, we're delighted to give him a copy of a book that he kind of likes. It's called 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and it's a very rare first edition in dust jacket. So,